Very much so. You know what, Rick, it was a very unique game to say the least. You know, I thought our defense was good early. You know, they didn't seem like they could get anything to go in. When we were running, got a big lead. You know, they maintained their composure. You know, John called a bunch of timeouts, got his team, you know, regrouped, and they showed a lot of fight. They come back, a close game at halftime. You know, we're down 5, 8.5 minutes to go. I think it was at that point where, you know, I was really proud of how we played from that point forward. You know, we got some stops, we executed our offense, we got some second shots, we made our free throws. You know, our defense, you know, finally, you know, got to the point where we were, you know, getting the stops we needed.
You got 15 and 12 from Gabe, and obviously he's been playing strong as of late, but as far as him being able to play for you down the stretch there, how big do you think that is for his growth going forward?
Oh, it's huge. You know, because a lot of times, you know, in the past I had more experienced guys out there, you know, like Jordan Nelson or Zach. You know, but he was so lively today. I mean, he was all over the place, got a huge offensive rebound late, and they get to stop, we get it denied to foul us. You know, so it was a huge play, one of the amazing he made tonight. 6 offensive rebounds, big part in the win.
He got one of the biggest rebounds there at the end of the game, and then Aaron White followed it on the next possession. You know, was it the way they fought on the boards late? You know, how demonstrative?
Well, that's what we didn't do against Michigan State. Mm-hmm. You know, we didn't do that. They did. You know, Costello had 6. You know, and Aaron White didn't have any offensive rebounds. Normally, he's very good in that area. So, you know, that's what, you know, just really impresses me about him. He recognized, you know, what we needed to do tonight, and he got it done.
Coach, any win in the Big Ten on the road is a huge confidence booster. What's this mean to the team?
Well, you know, you look at it from a lot of different angles. You know, you don't want to lose 2 in a row. We haven't done that this year. You know, every time we've lost, we've come back and won. Twice we lost, we came back and won on the road. I think that says a lot about a team's character and, you know, confidence in one another. You look at what's going on in the league. Okay, that's another perspective. Everybody beating everybody. So every time you get a win, you know, it puts you in a better position, obviously, to continue to contend for a championship, but also puts you in a better place for NCAA. So, you know, it would have been easy for us tonight when they came back the way they did, you know, to kind of fold up and go back home for 2. And, you know, I think if you're going to be a team that contends in this league, you better be able to come back and perform the way you did. So I'm really, really proud of my guys.
Last week, or the other game, you did talk about your mental toughness. You didn't see enough of it. This time seemed to be the reverse of that. In a tough environment, fighting, you know, 21-point, you know, deficit that went the other way. So, what does it say about your team right now that they're able to kind of fight through that?
What it says is that we were mature enough to recognize, okay, maybe we weren't as tough as we needed to be, and let's not belabor it. You know, we brought it up, we addressed it. You know, it wasn't a complete thing. We did a lot of good things against Michigan. You don't lose by 2 to Michigan State in overtime unless you do some good things. We did a lot of good things. So we looked at that. We looked at what we didn't do. Okay, what do we have to do to finish the game? Well, we better get some second shots. You know, we got the free throw line a lot, but if you're going 15 minutes without a field goal, you better get an offensive rebound somewhere. I mean, you know, we had some droughts tonight. You know, you look at Gabe especially. We got 15 offensive rebounds against 6. You have to do that, especially on the road.
Coach, they scored on 24 29 possessions during that big comeback. You just couldn't stop the dribble drive. They were getting to the lane. Did you make any adjustments down the stretch, or did you guys just buckle down and play?
Well, we did a couple of things. You know, in the first half, we were really doing well with all those things you just said, and then we went to the zone. And I think the zone softened us a little bit, I think. And then when we went back to the man, we weren't as crisp with those things you said. You know, dribble drive, you know, playing ball screens correctly. I mean, they've got a lot of drivers. They set a lot of ball screens. They set a lot of ball screen, re-screen. You know, and it creates a lot of indecision. Who's rotating? Who's getting the guy rolling? Who's rotating out to the shooter? Where's Ike? You got to find him. You know, all of those things. And I think once they got going, you know, their confidence was at a completely different level. They're banging threes. Different guys are driving the ball. You got to give them credit there. You know, 24 of 29 is pretty good. You know, we had a stretch there where we just didn't feel like we could get a stop, no matter what we were pressing, whether we were man, whether we were in zone, whether we're switching. we did start trapping a little bit. I think that revved us up. We trapped the one time, Melson got the steal, we got the breakaway. I think that was, in terms of answering your question, did you do anything different? We trapped a little bit out of there. We got a big steal.
There were a few times there where you decided not to call a timeout, where you're just figuring your team's mature enough to handle and withstand those runs?
Scott, don't you know me by now? We'll call timeouts there. I should sometimes. But you never know. You get down. I had a sense that this game was going to go down like this. And all of a sudden, you're trying to get the ball in bounds, and they're switching and denying everything. You need timeouts. You're getting ready to, the possession arrow is theirs, and you get ready to get tied up. You need to be able to call timeout. And if you don't like what you have, you're going to call timeout and change the play, run something else, get a sub in, whatever. So I like the same, but to be honest with you, Scott, I was thinking exactly what you were thinking. One time, I looked up and it was 8:50 something, and it's like, 59 seconds is going to be immediate. Do I really want to burn one here? Then of course they scored, and so I should have taken it. You go through that. The same thing you were thinking about.
Fran, you're at the halfway point of the Big Ten, 6-3, 3 road wins. Are you happy where you're at, and from here, do you like the way that things shape up?
Well, first of all, I don't look at how things shape up. I understand that that's what you guys are going to do, and I respect that. But we're just looking at Ohio State. Ohio State comes in on Tuesday. We have to play Ohio State. What do we have to do to beat Ohio State? And they got a big road win today. Very good team, and that's how we're looking at it. But as far as the first part of your question was, are you pleased? Well, I think you look and say, well, 3 road wins, 6-3. Any coach would have to be pleased in this league. You tend to look at the 3 losses we had. We were in a position to win all 3, but we also had a couple close ones as well. So, very respectful of what our guys have done and how they've competed and how they've come back from losses and how they've played on the road. And from that standpoint, I guess you could say I'm pleased.
What was your reaction Tuesday night when you found out that the president wanted to watch your game before the State of the Union address?
Well, I thought that was, to me, I was excited about it. Obviously, he's getting ready to, go deliver the State of the Union, and he wants to watch our game. Now, I know he's a big hoop guy. He obviously picks his bracket every year, but he watches college basketball. He plays basketball. He's a big basketball fan, and obviously his brother-in-law coaches at Oregon State. I played against him in college. We're very good friends. Was trying to get him, when he came to town. He came to town a couple of times to see if he wanted to play with our guys, get a workout and whatever. And political season, he was ripping and running pretty good. So he was in and out of town. But I think it says a lot about our team. I think it says a lot about our league. The president would want to watch that game.
Take 2 more. What did Deb show you there late, particularly when he got that steal after the missed shot and was able to get 3-point play?
You know what? He showed me what he always shows me. He's an amazing player. He's got great character. He's incredibly resilient. If he turns it over, makes a mistake, misses a shot, it's like it never happened. He just goes and tries to make another play. Tries to be a great teammate, tries to lead us, tries to make big buckets. That's why I love him.
Fran, in the last 90 seconds, Abrams didn't really pass as much as he would take like a game. What did you do to stop him? How did you stop him? What did you see?
Well, I think he was in a tough spot. I don't know exactly what John was calling. In the last 90 seconds, we were in sort of a zone to man, and he's trying to figure out what are they in, and do I just get it and go? Do I try to run something? Do I have to call a zone play? Do I have to call a man play? It's not going through his head at that point. And eventually, he just put his head down and went. Counted a free throw line at one time, and Mike made a rubber play on him the second time. So I don't think, if I was coaching him, I would expect him to do the exact same thing. Be aggressive, go make a play. It's a 2-possession game. You don't want to come down and run 30 seconds off this clock before we score. We got to go quick.